right, everybody, let's do part two. Let's continue. This is part two of our strapless top pattern making. So I'm doing just like I did with my front. I've made a copy of my master pattern in a size 8. This is the back, and so here is my copy. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is, of course, true up my lines and put in my dart. So I marked both of my dart legs and the tip of the dart there to make it easier for me to be able to put the dart in. Okay. And I'm going to come here and I'm going to put the back line in here, which would be our bust line if it were on the front. Okay. And then we have our armhole and our shoulder. Okay. So here we go. So when we were drafting the front, we had a center front piece, and this is our side front piece, which would be here. Okay. So that's where this is our side seam, and then this is the back, right? And then that's our front. Okay. So look at what we have here. We've got a point here where we've got about, let's see how much that is. Okay. Looks like it might be about an inch, but be sure. See what we got here. Yeah, that's about what we've got, 1 inch. So we've got an inch here. But also remember that we went down about 1/4 of an inch here, remember? All right, on the front. So we're going down 1/4 of an inch here. And we're going to go, we went in 1/4 of an inch here. We're going in 1/4 of an inch here. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to put in our, do just what we did in the front, is connect that line to the bottom here. Okay. All right. Okay. So now, I'm looking at the back here, and we don't have a radius on the back like where the bust point would be. So this dart goes all the way up to the back line, which would be the bust line in the front. So this goes all the way up. So we want to make sure here that we contour this dart as well, because again it's going to be in the back, and it needs to do work to support the front. So we're going to first find the middle point of our dart. So here we go. All right, and then we're going to cut it in half. And we've got the halfway point here. Okay, I'm gonna mark that on both sides. All right, now I'm going to come here and I'm going to go in here about 1/8 of an inch here, and on this side about 1/8 of an inch too. Okay, because we've already done a lot of contouring to the front. So here on the, remember on the front we did 1/4 of an inch. Here I'm just going to go in 1/8 of an inch and contour these darts. So I come out on each side, and I'm just going to connect that to the bottom of my dart. So it's just a little bit, and you would think it wouldn't make a difference, but if this is if I do 1/8 of an inch on both sides, I've just added taken 1/4 of an inch. That's what I'm going to be taking in here at that contour point, right? So, and if you have, remember you've got, this is one side of the back, the other side's going to be the same way. So actually I'm ending up taking in a 1/2 inch. Okay, and we want it to be contoured, but we want to be sure that we have some room left for the actual fitting too. Okay, went in a little bit. Let's fix that. Alright, okay, so now I've contoured my dart in the back. I've contoured on the side here, and I'm going to do a little bit of shaping here. So I came down here, okay, and now I'm going to come here, and I want to come down and make a nice little curve here in the back. Wouldn't that be nice? So I could just freehand it, but remember, you need to know everything that you're doing. So I came down 1/4 of an inch here, so I'm going to come here to the center back and come down about 1/4 of an inch here. Okay, and then I'm going to just take my curved ruler, and I'm going to make a slight curve. Now again, this is an easy, simple way to do it. If I was just really designing, I might take this lower, might go in and contour it here, go in a little bit and bring this in a little bit more. It would depend on what the design I was making, you know. So here we're just we want to have something basic that we can use. And believe it or not, this little simple pattern here, this little simple pattern here, you could take it and change it up and make other patterns from it too. Okay, so just like in the front, we're going to end up with 2 pattern pieces. Okay, so this is going to be the center back, and there's probably going to be a zipper here, and then this is going to be the side back. Okay, and what I'm going to do up here is shorten that dart a little bit here. Okay, shorten it. Okay, because we cut down to this point, so now we're good. All right, so now same thing here. I'm going to write that this is the center back. This is a size 8. We're going to be cutting 2. There's no seam allowance added. And also we have a style number, so this was style number 201. Okay, and I have to write that on both pieces. Side back, size 8, cut 2, no seam allowance added, style number 201. Okay, now I can go ahead and cut this out. And like I said, we could do some more contouring here, but I want you guys to see that you can do a basic strapless top and then keep going with your pattern work. Okay, alright, so then this would come apart. Now just like we had the notches for the front, I'm going to put notches here too, and I think what I'll do is just put them here. Okay, so it's a good place to put them because that's where we have to match these 2 pieces up here together. We're going to be adding seam allowance all the way around the entire pattern so that we can stitch these together. So I want you guys to really look at and study the steps in the video and why we do some of the things that we do on the videos. Okay, so here is, see how that little bit that's left in there like that, that's going to make it dimensional and make it curve right into the body. Okay, so what I want to do is put my notch right here to help match those pieces together. Okay, all right. So now I've got my pattern pieces here. I started off with 2 patterns, right? With my 2 master patterns here. And I ended up with 4 patterns here, right? My center front, my side front, my center back, and my side back. So that is how you make patterns from another pattern. Remember, that's what pattern making is. You can't make a pattern unless you have a pattern already, right? So we drafted here. We drafted our foundation pieces, and then we made a pattern from our foundation pieces, and that's how it's done. The way we did it was to use 2 of the principles of pattern making. The first one is dart manipulation. When we moved that bust dart to the waist dart, that was dart manipulation. That's the first principle. Okay, we moved that dart. And then the next principle we used was contouring. When we went in 1/4 of an inch and in our darts and in our side seams, okay? When we contoured, use our curved ruler to contour that pattern so that it would fit more, have more of a fit, a tighter fit to it. That is contoured, okay? All right, so I hope that you guys, if you have any questions or concerns, that you'll go ahead on the Facebook channel page, or on the YouTube channel for FVO Fashion Source, and I'll be glad to answer them for you. If you would like to see me draft something, I will be glad to work with you and show you how to do it. We're going to be starting our basic pattern making class and going into part 2, our advanced pattern making class, in about a month, and I hope you all will join us. Okay, all right, thank you so much for watching. Professor Jones signing out.